Pisces. Pisces, that is one of our deepest signs, you know. Do you know a Pisces? Do you like a Pisces? Very deep souls, very spiritual souls, mystical souls, but they may have some darknesses and shadows that they're having trouble with. And no one to talk to about it because they're afraid to really expose themselves. I'm going to read for Pisces now, but I want to ask you a little bit. If you're Pisces, would you say that you're a very mystical person and think super deep? Do you get caught sometimes in the negative thoughts or stinky thinking, though? I think sometimes that's possible. I wonder sometimes if Pisces can get stuck in addictive behavior as well, or self-sabotaging kinds of situations. I think that's possible too. I think that sometimes the deeper the Pisces is, the more they may find, you know, just like Aquarius. Aquarius goes far up in the sky and goes as far as they can to reach for information. The Pisces goes the opposite direction, far down into the waters, into the depth of the soul, the deep abyss. And they are 100% touching the bottom, so the absolute opposite of the spectrum in terms of Aquarius and Pisces. But their depth of knowledge and knowing is just as fascinating and just as amazing, right? I think that the Pisces is one of the first signs that'll go, okay, let's just do it. You know, they're not going to, they may think about it, but they find themselves getting so embroiled in the depth of all the possibilities, they eventually just dive in. I think that's true of a lot of Pisces. Are they the best leaders? Probably not the best. No, because they're deep in thought and wandering, and their time it doesn't always fit everybody else's time. If they are on time, it's because something didn't get finished, if that makes sense. I think they make kind and caring friends and partners. They love their family. They're deeply in love with their families. Pisces are a beautiful soul. If they're healthy, they are a beautiful, mystical, magical being. I think that if they're feminine, if they're females, you may find them quite moody around certain times of the month. Probably a really good idea to remind them to go for a swim or to go for a walk or to meditate or something like that. Even a hot tub, right? Just let them be with their energy. Sitting on a mountain looking at the ocean, even something like that would be really good to advise to your Pisces friend. They probably do like to drink from time to time and have some fun letting go. I think that might be good therapy for them too, if you want the truth of the matter. But you got to be careful they don't get too habitual around their drinking. Now, it could be marijuana too, right? Something that sort of gives them that easygoing vibe. Those that are around you may have to face some changes, and because they have to make changes that may affect your life in some way. So you're being more fluid and able to go with the wave of whatever that change is going to be helpful to you and your soul. Instead, I want you to be more in your instincts, in your feelings, and allow yourself to just sort of move with it in this kind of way. It's not the best time. This March will not be the best time for you to insist on things to be your way. There could be a circumstance, though, that is nagging at you, niddling at your nerves about someone that you care about that is maybe not in your life right now. Maybe they're upset with you. Maybe they're disappointed in you. In some way, you may understand that disappointment. You may try to justify it, though. That may cost you, Pisces. That may cost you. A big change that you are going to allow to come into your life, Pisces. A big change. Maybe that has been sort of culminating over the last little while, and you need to make a change. To me, it kind of looks like it might include a move. It might include a move. But if you did that, it could be you may be feeling a little irresponsible or somehow unreliable, and maybe that's disturbing you and not allowing you to make a full decision around what you want. Maybe there's been some reluctance or instability. Finances have been unstable. Maybe you just haven't really come back from a difficult past. Maybe you've made some bad decisions and you're trying to get over them now. I'd say this month of March is going to be a month of reviewing circumstances that you have put yourself in. And I don't think this is going to be an easy month for you. And the reason I think it's going to be difficult is because you're going to look at the justice, the situation, through the eyes of justice. And I think you're going to be berating yourself in some ways. Maybe just looking at the whole thing and seeing where you went wrong. I don't think that I don't think that you planned on doing wrong, but in the end you may judge yourself in that way. All right, maybe just because of foolish decisions that you made that interfered with the situation turning out in the best way. That's going to be a situation. Now, as far as money for the month of March, I think it's going to improve itself a little bit, and that's just it. There may be some conversation around moving because of money or something that might instigate. The moving may be instigated because it might save you money or put money in your pocket, something like that. That if you're in a relationship with someone, you could be questioning that relationship. Maybe there's a lot of good in it, but the overall still something missing. And it could be money. It could be they just don't bring home the money. And maybe that just makes you feel unsafe. And maybe that's the thing that's causing you to consistently think about greener pastures, kind of a thing. Pisces, if you are in a really good relationship, it's going to be with someone that's probably, what I'm seeing here is some of the Pisces that hear this are going to be the ones that tend to want what they can't have. Pisces tend to want what they don't have. And if you are with someone that you do love, there's still going to be some circumstances that you'll be working through, and it does interfere with the flow of happiness in that family. Sorry to say, my dear. There could be some other things that are happening. Maybe the kids, if you got kids, or maybe there's someone living in the home environment that's stirring up nonsense, something like that. Okay, so as far as money goes, like I said, opportunities will present, but whatever way you're making money, it's still going to come out difficulties. It doesn't mean you can't make it happen, but there may be some difficulties or hurdles you have to jump. Health. Pisces, with all of this energy that's around, I think the circumstances the world has put on a lot of us, I think you're another one who's going to have some trouble facing some of the truths that the world is exposing themselves, and you may find yourself slipping into escapism, and you need to be careful of that. I think you're very loving and very beautiful soul, but you're gonna have some trouble shaking some of the negative, and that's going to put you in a situation of considering how to escape out of yourselves. Like how do you get away from your thoughts and feelings? You try painting. Why don't you try swimming, meditating? Please do that.